Hello, good morning, and welcome to Power English for Foreign Executives. My name's Deanne. I'm so glad you're able to join me for this new installment of this new channel. And I hope that you will be able to stay with me for the length of this. It's going to be very short anyway. Usually my videos are rather short, but I welcome you and it's good to see you here. I have for you today four sophisticated expressions that I call them for Power English. And let me just give you a definition of how I see Power English. Uh, Power English is the effective usage of English words, phrases, and idioms that executives whose native language is not English, but who are business people who work in American companies or who are rising stars who want to work in American companies to be able to navigate very confidently in the American workplace. So that is why I'm here. That's why this video is here. That's why this channel is here, because I want to help you enhance your current leadership skills to be able to navigate in the American workplace, whether it's here in the United States where I am, or where the American company is based in your country. So I'm looking down here for my notes so that I don't forget anything, and I like to work by notes. But today the four expressions, let me just give them to you at the beginning. They will be: call it a day, bricks and mortar, old faces and familiar faces, uh, and at a loss for words. And I do have a bonus expression, which I will not even list in the description box because I want you to really stay until the end to use it. But here we go. Here we go. First off, call it a day, or rather, it should be let's call it a day. And well, before I do that, let me just tell you, when you use an idiom, you have to take the idiom as one unit. If you decide to break it down and take out each word, it doesn't have the same standard English definition as it does when you use the whole unit. All those words have different meanings in standard English that everybody would understand. But using the idiom as a figure of speech peppers the language. It also defines conversations that happen in your particular industry or department. So when we say call it a day means the end of a conversation. You use it at the end of a meeting or at the end of a discussion or debate or an argument. So if you and your boss are talking, or if you are in a meeting and your boss says, okay, folks, let's call it a day, it doesn't mean that the day has ended. It just simply means that, hey, we've been working hard all day. Let's finish and close out this meeting. That's all it is. That is all that it is. However, and it's a positive statement. However, it can also be one that ends an argument or debate, especially if that argument or debate, you cannot resolve anything, and the debate or the argument or discussion is going on and on and on. And there is no end in sight, and nothing is coming up with a resolution. So you say, you know what? Let's call it a day. We obviously cannot resolve the issue today. And it's another way of saying, get me out of this discussion. I'm exhausted from this discussion. I just want to get out of it. You may never come back to it, but you can say something to the effect, let's talk about this either later on this afternoon, or, let's talk about it by come to another discussion at the end of the week. Maybe we can resolve some things by then. You may want to do that. But it's a way for you to have an out from the constant debate and talking. So let's call it a day. So it's a positive statement, and it's another way of just reducing the tension in a debate. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the next one, bricks and mortar. And if you heard me say it, it's plural, bricks and mortar. Bricks, we know, are the blocks that we use to make a building. Mortar is like the cement between two bricks. It's not brick and mortar, it's bricks and mortar. You will hear the term as brick and mortar, but that is definitely incorrect. So bricks and mortar is an expression that just means the physical presence of a company, a building, or they're taking up one or several floors of a larger building. It's would be the opposite would be having just an online presence, like say the big mega online shopping places like Jack Ma's, Alibaba, or Jeff Bezos, Amazon. But it just simply means that we're talking about the online presence. So what you could say in a sentence is that after many years of having an online presence, our company has decided to invest in bricks and mortar stores locally so that they can expand their presence in the town, in the region, in the country, internationally. Okay. So that's what we mean by bricks, plural, bricks and mortar. The next one, old faces and familiar faces. What we, if you're making a speech or a presentation and you're talking to people, mostly the people that you do know, and you are, how would we say that? And many of the faces, and these are most of the people that you do know, and very few new ones. But at the beginning of a speech or presentation, sometimes people like to make a personal comment, and that's great as an opener. So you may, look around the room when you're doing the speech at a conference or wherever, and you look around the room, you say, welcome everybody, nice to be here, nice to see uh, people that especially. So you may say, it's nice to see so many old faces and some new faces that I haven't met yet, but I hope that we all can connect at the luncheon later on today. So I look forward to seeing all of you. You may recall in my previous video where I talked about the emphasis that we in America place on youth. I don't think anyone wants to be called old face. I certainly don't want to be. So may I suggest very politely that you just change nice to see old faces to nice to see so many familiar faces and new faces too. It's just a slight change. It's a cultural awareness. You'd be good to go. Be great. If you like what you're hearing, I invite you to subscribe. I invite you to like. I invite you to comment. Let me know what you think. I am hoping to have a series. No, I'm hoping I will be doing a series next week of idioms in the financial industry. There's so many of them, and I want to be able to take some time to talk about just a few of them. there are many more than what I will tell you next week, but these are just some powerful ones that I think would be very helpful to you. So, and I also wanted to let you know that I also do private one-on-one executive career coaching for people who want to learn a little bit further about navigating in the American workplace, how to handle workplace situations, issues, challenging. If you want help with resume writing, interview techniques, and just really to be more aware of cross-cultural communication and all of that. Um, I have the experience of doing it as a headhunter and also as an online English tutor for many, many years. So if you want more information about that, look in the description box below. Okay, so let's go on to the fourth idiom, and that is, it says, at a loss for words. At a loss for words. Now, what is that? It's the response that you would say in terms of showing humility, showing shock or surprise, and maybe also response to diplomacy. When you say I'm at a loss for words, it's your way of saying I neither want to answer yes or no, or because I just choose not to give you my direct answer at this moment. I'd rather be diplomatic and just save it. But for an example of the first one, to show sincere humility. You're getting an award, and it was something that you had not expected. Award for you, or an award for your department for doing such a fabulous job, and you were not expecting it, and it's given at a at a meeting or even at a dinner, and they say, well, would you like to make any comment? Would you like to say something to your audience or something like that? You say, I'm very humbled by this. I'm at a loss for words. Of course, you will have something else to say, but the expression I'm at a loss for words is showing really sincere humility, and that's very positive. The other reason of shock is when you hear information and you are just, what? Really? For example, if it has gone around the rumor uh, mill at work that the CEO, long-standing CEO that everybody loves, is retiring early. Everybody's saying, why? Well, he's going on a new career path as a missionary abroad. What? You are just absolutely befuddled by that. And so you said, so your colleague says, what do you think? What do you think of all of this? You're saying, I can't believe it. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. I would never think, I would think things about the CEO, but never that, this is what would happen to the CEO. So there's shock. And then the third one, well, it's kind of a two-parter, third one. It's when a colleague, for example, again, asks you to take a look at, to review, to inspect another colleague's email that is very, very, very poorly written. And you don't want to jump in and go, oh, that's the worst email I've ever seen. Or you want to say, well, maybe it's not that bad of an email. It sticks to the point, it states the fact. But you can see the look on your colleague's face that she wants you to agree with her that it's the worst email ever. You look at the person and you look at the email and you say, what do you think? You just say, I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. The colleague may think that you agree with her. You may or you may not. That's the diplomacy. And the height of diplomacy is when your spouse or significant other may say, honey, how do I look in this dress? And you may like it, really like it, or you may not really don't like it. And you say, honey, I'm at a loss for words. It's all about the tone. It's all about the tone. And, if people know you well, they may be able to read your tone. But if they don't know if you like it or you don't. I'm just simply at a loss for words. That's it. Um, the last one I think is interesting, and it is the sentence. It's Greek. It is Greek to me. Yes, the language Greek. Greek. It's Greek to me. Now, what is that? It's just simply another way of saying what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, what I've heard is very complicated, or it's in a new concept that I just simply don't understand. For me, I would say that if someone gave to me a manual on how to build an airplane Boeing engine, and I'm looking at the manual with all the diagrams, and someone said, well, what do you think? You think we can do this engine, build this engine? And I'm like, what? That's Greek to me. It's not that it's a negative, it's just that for me, I wouldn't understand it. Or how to build a computer. I look at the manual and the instructions. It would be totally Greek to me. If you are in the workplace and the client has given you additional requests on how to design their new corporate headquarters in California, but the additional request is that the headquarters must also have a big, strong emphasis on child safety. You have built buildings, in your years of experience, but with this new request and with an outline on the details, you say, well, this is Greek to me. You don't say to the client, you may say this to your senior executive or to your team members, and you'll have to work it out and figure it out. But it's Greek to me. It's Greek to all of you anyway. And the idea of the origin of something that's Greek was that in the Middle Ages, the scribes or the writers of history at that time knew Latin, and when they had to transcribe something from Greek into Latin, then into whatever languages there were in Western Europe. This is what 12th, 13th century, 12th, 13th, yeah, 12th and 13th century. To translate the Greek into Latin, it was, well, it's going to be hard. And even in the intellectual classes, they did not learn Greek. So Greek was to them a very difficult language to understand, and then they may not have had the wherewithal to do a facile ability to translate quickly the Greek. So, and even in Shakespeare, in Julius Caesar, which character was it in Cassius had been asked by Casca, what did Cicero have to say following a festival? And it was, well, the people who understood Cicero, were all smiling and having a good old time. But to me, Cassius, it was all Greek to me. So we come back to contemporary times. Uh, that expression is just such a lovely expression. It's Greek to me. It's Greek to me. So let's call it a day. This has been an exciting episode for me. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope that you've enjoyed some of the information, and that I hope that you're not just sitting and listening to this, but I hope you're thinking about, as an executive, to be able to use these expressions to your own benefit and to your own ascent in the American workplace. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.